Hello again, YouTube. You're watching the 7th podcast response for Information Security class. The source information for this podcast is taken from Twit TV's Security Now, episode 551, Q&A number 230. The three topics I will be talking about today are the continued encryption fight and its relationship to WhatsApp messaging service, an IoT security concern, and information to take into account, and a way to amplify DDoS attacks. So the first topic I'll be talking about is the encryption debate, which has been going on for some time in regards to the San Bernardino case with Apple and the Department of Justice. Well, in addition to that, the Department of Justice also has a case going with WhatsApp, which is a messaging service that's owned by Facebook. So users that use WhatsApp can send messages and call over the internet, but the thing is that these messages and phone calls are encrypted. And so in the last year, the company has been adding more encryption to these conversations, which is making it impossible for the Justice Department to read, eavesdrop, or basically gather any information, even if they have a judge's wiretap order. And recently, the Department of Justice was discussing how to go forward in continuing criminal investigations in which a federal judge has issued wiretap, but investigators are unable to do anything about it because of WhatsApp's encryption. On one hand, it's great that users can send messages back and forth and know that the content that they are sending is safe and secure, but in criminal cases like these, where there have been some sort of wrongdoing to possibly another person or a corporate entity or something like that, that's really where the gray lines start to appear, and we don't know whether or not this security concern, whether the encryption, whether backdoors need to be available, is something that needs to happen. The second topic that I will be talking about is IoT security. So Brian Krebs, who has a website, Krebs on Security, talked about whether or not you need to care for the security of IoT devices. And this comes from Cisco. Researchers at Cisco were alerted. Researchers at Cisco alerted HVAC manufacturer Trane about vulnerabilities in their ComfortLink line of thermostats. So these thermostats have large color LCDs and BusyBox-based computers that connect directly to the wireless network. So the ComfortLink devices allow attackers to gain remote access and can use these devices to gain access to the rest of the user's network. One of these big problems with the devices is that all of the credentials have hard-coded passwords, meaning that by default the accounts can be used to log into the system over SSH. Two of the other bugs that were reported would allow attackers to even install their own malicious software on these devices. So very big security concern, and unfortunately, Trane has yet to do anything about that. And the last thing I want to talk about today is amplification of DDoS attacks using TFTP. So TFTP is Trivial File Transfer Protocol, and according to Wikipedia, it is generally only used for LAN networks, local area networks. It's not really supposed to be available or seen on the internet. And researchers at the Edinburgh Napier University discovered that TFTP protocol could be abused to amplify a DDoS attack. So TFTP is very small, easy to implement. It lacks advanced features, only reads and writes files to or from remote servers, has no way to provide user authentication or check credentials, and offers a higher amplification factor than other internet protocols. So basically, the way that this would work is that using improperly configured third-party DNS services, someone with malicious intent could amplify their DDoS attack and bring down websites, something that Steve Gibson was party to. But unfortunately, there wasn't a comprehensive example that could be given, but researchers had said that this is a possibility. Well, that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for podcast 8.